Now we'll handle the login situation and respond correctly depending on whether we've managed to log in or not. We'll introduce a small change here. In both cases, that is, both in case of success and failure, we'd like to react in some way. If the login does succeed, we may somehow save the data. However, if we don't manage to log in, we want to display a message. Unfortunately, we can't display a message from a thread that takes place in the background, and that's why we'd like to receive data in the onPostExecute method. Instead of passing the Boolean value which informs about login correctness, we pass the JSON object which includes our response. Due to this change, we have to change our code in certain places. JSON object is a special class which is available in Android. It makes working with JSONs a lot easier. It deals both with the parsing and preparing of objects which can be later serialized into JSONs. If we have a constructor to which we pass a string, it'll attempt to automatically transform the text into a full JSON hierarchy. JSON is a notation used in JavaScript to pass data. Therefore, it may include subobjects, arrays, and so forth. It may turn out that what was returned is not a correct JSON. In such a case, our constructor throws a JSON exception, which we also have to handle. If any exception is thrown, we return a null. The result is passed to our onPostExecute. It's a response from the server or a null. We can check what it is and react accordingly. We already are in the UI thread, so we can check the data in a simple manner and display it for the user. If it turns out that the result is a null, it would be good to display the error message. Finally, we'll deal with situations returned from the server. We have two basic situations. Either we have an error or we don't. If we have an error, we should display what appeared there. If there is no error, we can assume that the user managed to log in. We'll use the has method, which checks whether there is a key with the name provided in our JSON. As I've said, in case of an error key appears with the error description, whereas if we have a correct login, there is no such key. There are two methods used to display the error content. We can get it using the getString method, but it has a certain flaw. If the method doesn't find the provided key, it throws an exception. Due to this, we have to handle the exception, but this generates unnecessary code. In this case, a much better idea is to use the optString method. It allows checking even the values that aren't there. If the value is not found, the default value is returned. In case of a string, it's a null. We are left with one situation, neither a null nor an error, but the correct values. In such a case, we call the code which was previously executed after a correct login. We need one more correction because we assumed that the object we store will be parameterized as a Boolean. We have to change it into a JSON. Let's test the current application version. We start with the situation where we have no connection. In order to simulate it, we switch the emulator into airplane mode. After entering the correct data, we get a connection error. Now we enter the wrong data and restore the internet connection. We get an error with an error message from the server. When entering the correct data, we see the message "Login OK" and go to the new activity. We've received the full set of user data, so we're logged in. It would be good if we didn't have to log in between application starts. We'll remember the user data. If the user is logged in, we'll automatically skip the login step and go directly to the list activity.